Hello, and thank you for joining us for another edition of McAllen News Update. I'm Xochitl Mora.
And I'm Roy Cantu. The City of McAllen continues to host COVID-19 vaccine clinics with Hidalgo County. To better serve the McAllen community, the City of McAllen will continue to host vaccination clinics at the McAllen Convention Center. The city, in partnership with Hidalgo County and McAllen ISD, are conducting clinics targeting senior citizens. The City of McAllen is following the state protocol with Tier 1A and Tier 1B, which includes healthcare workers, anyone 65 years or older, or anyone 18 years and older who meet the criteria with existing health conditions. If you're interested in getting a COVID-19 vaccine, please follow the City of McAllen on the social media or watch the McAllen Cable Network on Spectrum Channel 1300 or on your local news for updates and registration information.
The severe weather across Texas affected some residents here in South Texas. Some good news for City of McAllen residents whose water city service was not affected during the storm. The McAllen Public Utility was able to keep the city's drinking and wastewater services operating in McAllen, and in fact assisted neighboring community water systems who did lose power. Many residents did see power outages across parts of the city because of the winter weather event in Texas. The Traffic Operations Department responded to power outages at various signal intersections. Traffic staff was able to deploy temporary stops, traffic cones, makeshift barrel stops, and other traffic control devices to alert drivers that signals were out. Also due to the power outages and cold weather, the McAllen Parks and Recreation Department opened up community centers for residents as warming centers where residents could spend the day staying warm, charging electronics, and using Wi-Fi, and as overnight shelters where staff provided food and cots to assist those affected by the cold weather. The workers at the McAllen Public Works Department went across the city putting sand material on streets to keep them from icing. With the assistance of city engineer and in conjunction with TxDOT, Public Works crews applied sand on 13 city bridges and crossings, which included the Hidalgo and Ansaldúa international bridges. Public Works crews, along with the assistance of Parks Department electricians, provided the McAllen cold weather shelter at Catholic Charities of the RGV 2 power generators. The generators were able to provide adequate supply of electricity to the shelter facility during the power outages. During the weather event, the state of Texas and the National Guard delivered 136 pallets of drinking water as part of disaster relief efforts. Public Works crews assisted with the unloading of the pallets, which arrived by air transport at the McAllen International Airport. Public Works also helped in transferring 200 mats from the Respite Center to the City of Mission and the delivery of 200 blankets from Harlingen Red Cross to McAllen nursing homes. Public Works Fleet Administration worked diligently to confirm fuel orders to ensure all city fuel systems were topped off in order to avoid any possibility of shortage. Solid waste and trash collection services carefully continued with minimal delay.
To assist families in need, McAllen City Commissioner Tanya Ramirez from District 4, along with support from Hidalgo County Precinct 2 Commissioner Eddie Cantu, organized a chicken plate dinner for 500 residents. Thanks to the McAllen Firefighters and Police Officers Associations, they cooked up the hot meals for residents to pick up at the Palmview Community Center.
We have a lot of people that were willing to come out and help, even with the cold, with them themselves not having electricity. The county, Eddie Cantu, our commissioner for Precinct 2, the McAllen Fire Department, as well as the McAllen Police Department, myself, the city, we all came out here to get together so we can help our community in these hard times.
The food was donated by local businesses and restaurants. The McAllen Police Department remained operating throughout the entire bad weather event, protecting our community. Also, the McAllen Fire Department received and responded to numerous calls to false fire alarms when residents started their heater inside their homes. Smoke from dusty central air systems caused fire alarms to be triggered. The City of McAllen also delayed start time due to the cold and would like to thank the community for their patience and support throughout the winter storm. If you're interested in staying informed for future weather and other emergencies, please watch the McAllen Cable Network on Spectrum Channel 1300 for the latest updates. Also, follow us on our social media sites. To better assist you in any emergency situation, I'd like to remind you to register your telephone number or mobile number to our Code Red system. We send out emergency alerts directly to you in an emergency. You can find how to register at McAllen.net.
Some heroes don't wear capes. Workers from the McAllen Public Utility headed to San Angelo to help them with their water crisis. Here's their story. Earlier this month, the city of San Angelo suffered a catastrophic water crisis that forced them to issue a do not use water notice, as an extremely unsafe contaminant had leaked into the utility water system. City of San Angelo officials contacted the Texas Division of Emergency Management for assistance, who immediately recommended the McAllen Public Utility to help them respond to the crisis. With less than 1 day's notice, MPU backflow crew members, along with Mark Vega, General Manager for McAllen's water utility system, and Elvira Alonso, McAllen Public Works Director and Emergency Management Coordinator, made the long journey to San Angelo to help respond to the crisis.
What we were able to do was take 3 what's called customer service inspectors who are licensed individuals for backflow prevention. And so when we heard about the issue that they had encountered, we knew it was probably an issue of a backflow. And so we took 3 licensed CSI staff members, along with Public Works, their Public Works Director, Elvira Alonso, which also accompanied us, which was a big help. And so we were able to go and inspect several industrial facilities for the city of San Angelo. And so we spent 2 full days doing that from morning to evening in sub-freezing temperatures.
The MPU customer service inspectors worked quickly and efficiently to try to resolve the problem, which was a backflow failure into the system. Aside from the lack of water for the city of just over 100,000 residents, crews were facing sub-freezing temperatures and were racing against the approaching winter storm so that they could safely return to McAllen before the weather prevented the trip. According to Vega and Alonso, the McAllen team was welcomed with open arms, and they came away with an overwhelming feeling of gratitude from every single resident of San Angelo. Additionally, they were all extremely proud to be able to represent McAllen, assist another community in Texas, and be recognized by the Emergency State Agency as the entity to respond to the crisis.
We were very honored to be called by the state. The Texas Department of Emergency Management, many of us know it as TDEM, is the agency that communities reach out to when there is a need. And so they reached out to the city of McAllen for assistance in this dire need. As you're saying, it was a critical event. And so we were very proud to send a few crew members. They were asking for 10 people to go out there. Unfortunately, we weren't able to give them all 10, but we were able to send 4 strong inspectors, very knowledgeable individuals who could assist this community.
McAllen International Airport welcomes Allegiant's new nonstop service to Nashville. Starting on May 27th, Allegiant will provide direct air service from McAllen to Nashville. You can already book your fares. To celebrate, Allegiant is offering one-way fares on the new route as low as $69. The new route will operate twice weekly. Allegiant now has 4 direct flights out of McAllen International Airport. Visit Allegiant.com to book your trip.
McAllen will start serving meals to senior citizens at the community centers. The McAllen Parks and Recreation Department will resume the widely used senior meal program funded by local partner Amigos del Valle. The strictly drive-through service provides approximately 2,200 senior citizens in McAllen with a well-balanced hot meal throughout the week, including weekends, assisting them to remain healthy and independent. The meal program is for senior citizens over age 60, operational Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the 3 community centers at Las Palmas, Lark, and Palmview. Participants must pick up their meals at the location where they registered, and new participants are encouraged to register at the location of their choice.
The City of McAllen is opening up some playstations for the community to enjoy. McAllen City Commissioners approved a phased reopening of playstations at various McAllen City parks. Due to COVID, everyone who uses the parks should take all CDC recommendations to stay safe. The McAllen Parks and Recreation Department opened 14 playstations out of the 86 parks playstations. Park playstations will be sanitized once a day. The Parks Department will place signs to remind residents to provide self-care and self-regulate social distancing. McAllen city officials still stress that personal responsibility is key, encouraging families who go out to play at the parks always wear masks and bring their own hand sanitizer and/or cleaning products to disinfect hands and wipe down the structures either before or afterwards. Here's a list of the playstations that will be open at the parks. These 14 parks playstations opened up during Phase 1, and more parks will be added until all are open to the public. For more Parks and Rec updates, follow McAllen Parks and Recreation on social media.
McAllen's code enforcement officers take their official oath. In a ceremony, the City of McAllen formalized the position of its environmental health specialist, also known as the food inspectors. These state-licensed sanitarians and code enforcement officers took a sworn oath, will carry an official badge, and their license. The 25 code enforcement officers will continue to keep our city healthy and safe.
The City of McAllen is offering COVID-19 rental assistance to help our community. The program is targeting McAllen residents who were affected by the pandemic. If you're interested in rental assistance, you must apply at the City of McAllen at McAllen.net. If you're running behind on your monthly rent payment due to the pandemic, the program is designed to help residents who have received an eviction notice, whose household income is 80% below the area median income, have not received rental assistance due to COVID-19 impact from any other agency, and rental assistance cannot exceed $779 a month. Additionally, the program is also available to landlords to apply to seek relief from lost rent due to the pandemic.
The City of McAllen celebrates Black History Month with a special ceremony. McAllen officials and Juneteenth community leaders held a rededication ceremony for the Bethel Gardens as the final celebration for this year's Black History Month. The City of McAllen has partnered with Village in the Valley, the local nonprofit organization that hosts Juneteenth, and this year a month-long list of activities that started with the celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Day and continuing throughout February for Black History Month. Mayor Jim Darling led the ceremony for the Texas Historic Landmark Bethel Garden Rededication Ceremony. Bethel Garden is the former site of the Bethel Missionary Baptist Church, where housing was provided for African American teachers and visitors back in 1941. In June 2020, during the Juneteenth celebration, Mayor Darling committed to improving the site so the community can truly enjoy the space. You can see the new garden and a steel-structured chapel, which will welcome visitors for years to come with beautiful murals around the garden.
Keep McAllen Beautiful is celebrating its 10th anniversary of the Arbor Day celebration on Saturday, March 6, 2021. The Arbor Day celebration is a fun-filled event where participants take part in a 5K, 10K run, 25-mile, or 100-kilometer bike tour. Due to COVID-19, the event will be held virtually this year. Arbor Day is a day to celebrate nature's gift of trees. The tall trees provide shade, fruit, fun, and habitat for many different kinds of wildlife. Packet pickup will be held on March 4th at the Keep McAllen Beautiful office. On that day, participants will pick up their event packet and a free tree. That's going to do it for us here. Thanks so much for watching. For the City of McAllen, I'm Xochitl Mora.
And I'm Roy Cantu. We leave you now with the historical landing on Mars. Many of us were glued to our television sets watching the historical landing of Perseverance. Cheers to NASA for their accomplishment.
Tango Delta.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the sands of past life.